Making good on Nick Fury's promise from 10 years ago, Avengers Infinity War doesn't just assemble Earth's mightiest heroes, it brings together the Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Thanos, who now must be ranked among the best villains of the MCU. That it does all this while still being fun, thrilling, and emotional is perhaps something that not even Infinity War largely makes good on the promises Marvel has implicitly made since before we even knew there would be an Infinity War. The integral aspects of the characters we've been following for a decade are clearly drawn here, from Tony Stark to Steve Rogers to Thor and beyond.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
That each of these heroes' defining characteristics remain fully developed in a story that takes place across multiple planets and with an ensemble that numbers in the dozens is perhaps the most satisfying aspect of the film. At the same time, there are curveballs thrown that will keep viewers guessing. Infinity War is all the stronger for it, as it consistently subverts the expectations it sets up for the audience. It's also kind of amazing how seamlessly the various pieces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe fit together, and the collaborative creative spirit that drives the MCU is often felt at these junctures. That said, many of the familiar pairings from the comics just don't happen here.
Who the hell are you guys?
For every Peter Parker and Tony Stark scene, there's a moment of realization that two characters didn't even meet up this time. As promised, Avengers Infinity War is very much a Thanos movie, and it wastes no time in establishing real stakes. The big purple CGI villain commands perhaps the strongest arc of the film. If we can't empathize with his reasoning for wanting to wipe out half the universe, we can at least understand his perspective and believe his pain when he must make sacrifices to achieve his goal. Inevitably, though, Infinity War does suffer at times from a certain bloat. There's no getting around the abundance of characters and subplots that are feeding into the bigger story.
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
At 2 hours and 40 minutes, this is a long movie, and the balancing act directors the Russo brothers are trying to pull off strains at times. Specifically, the side story of Thor, Rocket, and Team Groot goes on a bit longer than it should. While Infinity War brings together all these characters, it's also audacious enough to introduce new faces, though most prove to be missteps due to a lack of time to develop them into anything worthwhile. There is so much going on in this movie, and some viewers may walk away frustrated by its cliffhanger ending. But Infinity War is more Empire Strikes Back than Matrix Reloaded in that regard, culminating in a beautifully brilliant, if traumatic, manner. The entire MCU saga could end here, and it would be a satisfying, if not necessarily happy, finale. But it also sets up next year's Avengers 4 in such a way that will have audiences pondering the events of Infinity War until then.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
Using the strength of its villain to set the stakes higher than ever, Avengers Infinity War successfully brings together the past 10 years of Marvel movies into a largely effective cocktail of superheroic dramatics. The fact that it manages to give nearly every member of its cast at least a moment to shine is its greatest feat. Sure, it ends on a cliffhanger, but those final moments elevate the entire series in a poetic, if horrific, coup de grace.